Hi and welcome to MTG Manuscript. Today we have again tons of conspiracy spoilers being revealed, and we're going to go through all the cards being spoiled this week. And starting off, we have our Grudge Keeper, our 2/1 zombie wizard for 2 mana. Whenever player finish voting, each opponent who voted for a choice you didn't vote for loses 2 life. And I love its flavor text, your defiance is noted. I think this card is gonna be super funny in conspiracy and generally in multiplayer format. But there you go, Grudge Keeper. Definitely a card that I'll be playing for just the kick of it. And next card in for conspiracy we have is our Reckless Scholar, our 2/1 human wizard for 3 mana. You can tap and target players draws a card and then discard the card. So pretty awesome. And next card that we have is Cinder War, our 3/3 war creature for just 1 red mana. It's with Defender, and when Cinder War blocks, destroy it at the end of combat. So pretty interesting card. You have a 3/3 body for only 1 mana, but it is with Defender and you can only use it 1 time. So pretty cool, I guess. And next card that we have is Vent Sentinel, our 2/4 elemental creature for 4 mana with again Defender, and you can pay 1 and 1 red, tap. It deals damage to target player equals the number of creatures with Defender you control. So again, a pretty interesting card, something with Defender, and if I'm not wrong, there is a Phoenix in the Taros block, and with so many defenders out, might be possible to do a fun competitive deck, though not legal in any standard format. But yeah, pretty cool. And next card that we have is our Dream Fracture, our instant spell for 3 mana. You counter target spell, its controller draws a card, and you draw a card. And again, I think counter spells is extremely useful in EDH or multiplayer formats, and with this kind of card drawing mechanics, it is quite perfect for my Nekosa deck, so I think I might include this. And on to our next card, we have our Twisted Abomination, our 5/3 mutant zombie for 6 mana. You can pay 1 black to regenerate it, and you have a Swamp Cycling for 2. So pretty vanilla card, nothing special. And on to our next card for conspiracy is our Enclave Elite, our 2/2 Merfolk Soldier for 3 with multi-kicker, 1 generic and 1 blue. With Island Walk, and it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter for each time it was kicked. And there's a cycle of these cards in the conspiracy set. We'll be going through some of them, and more will be being spoiled over the weeks. So on to our next card, we have our Infectious Horror, our 2/2 zombie horror for 4 mana. Whenever it attacks, each opponent loses 2 life. So again, a very interesting multiplayer format creature, and it does its damage to each opponent, so pretty nice. And next card, we have our Compulsive Research, our sorcery spell for 3. Target player draws 3 cards, then that player discards 2 cards unless he or she discards a land card. So again, I think this card is a very nice card in multiplayer format, and especially in format where games tend to be a bit long. And discarding land card at a late game when you have already tons of land isn't that much a big deal, and drawing 3 cards is good. So on to our next card, we have our Core Chant, our instant spell for 3 mana. All damage will be dealt to this turn to target creature you control by a source of your choice is dealt to another target creature instead. So basically, sort of a misdirection for damage. And on to our next card, we have our Noble Templar, our 3/6 Human Cleric Soldier for 6 mana with Vigilance and Plains Cycling 2. And moving on, the next card we have is a reprint of Breakthrough. I'm not sure whether this art will be used or they'll be printing a new art. But Breakthrough will be in Conspiracies, our sorcery for X and 1 blue. Draw 4 cards, then choose X cards in your hand and discard the rest from it. So pretty nice card for card drawing at late game, or you can use these to just play graveyard play and stuff like that. So Breakthrough is back. It was originally in Torment. I'm not sure whether there's another Breakthrough in a previous set before Torment, but there we go, Breakthrough. And next card we have is Copperhorn Scout, our 1/1 Elf Scout for 1 green. Whenever it attacks, untap each other creature you control. So basically, making your all of other creatures having vigilance, or you can trigger their inspire mechanics, or you can do whatever you want with them. So I think it is a pretty nice card for a 1/1 Elf Scout for just only 1 green mana. So quite nice. And on to our next card, we have our Doom Traveler, a reprint, our 1/1 Human Soldier for just 1 white mana. And when it dies, put a 1/1 White Spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. And our next card is Shoreline Ranger, our 3/4 Bird Soldier for 6 with flying and with Island Cycling too. So again, one of the cycles of the set with sort of a land cycling. Yep, land cycling. And next we have our Assassinate, our sorcery spell for 3, destroy target tap creature. So there you go, our black removal spell. And next card we have our Spore Cap Spider, our 1/5 spider for 3 mana with reach. Another very vanilla spidery card. And next card we have our Gnarlid Pack, our 2/2 beast creature for 2 mana. So it's our vanilla bear, but it comes with a multi-kicker for 1 generic and 1 green. It enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter for each time it was kicked. So if you don't kick it, it is a vanilla bear. If not, you can pay as much as you want and it gets bigger. So quite awesome. Gnarlid Pack. And onto our next card, we have our Flowstone Blade, our enchantment aura for just 1 red enchant creature, and you can pay 1 red and it gets +1/-1 until end of turn. So I guess it is sort of flexible. You can use it to kill off creatures if you want, and you can use it to pump your creatures as much as it can. So next card we have our Explorer's Scope, our equipment artifact for just 1 generic mana. Whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's land card, we put it onto the battlefield tab with equip cost 1. And I think this card is a very good meta in multiplayer format. You always wanted to have your land drop every turn. You like to have a card advantage. You want to know what's next in your deck. But of course, you are reviewing your cards to your opponent. But having this advantage, I think, is pretty awesome. So there you go, your Explorer's Scope. And on to our next card being spoiled is our Echoing Courage, our instant spell for 1 generic and 1 green target creature, and all other creature with the same name as that creature gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. So pretty much it is a board state +2/+2 for all your creatures if you are playing a lot of creatures of the same name. And in Conspiracy set, I think there are a few cards that grants you such or encourages such play. A few of the Conspiracy cards, or almost all of the Conspiracy cards with hidden agenda, encourages to play cards with the same name. So with these cards in play, you just add that much more value to the cards that you drafted. And on to our next card, we have our Pitch Burn Devils, our 3/3 devil creature for 5 mana. When it dies, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. And next card being spoiled for Conspiracy is our Power of Fire, our enchantment aura for 2 mana. You enchant creature, it has tapped. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So basically, it is your Prodigal Pyromancer or your Goblin Sharpshooter ability. Not really Goblin Sharpshooter, but you get what I mean. You can tap to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. And doing this with a creature with Death Touch is really annoying. So there you go. And next card is our Orcish Cannonade, our instant spell for 3 mana. It deals 2 damage to target creature or player and deals 3 damage to you. And you get to draw a card. So I think pretty nice add-on to the raid spells, as raid doesn't really have much draw mechanics without a downside. And for this, the downside is taking 3 damage for drawing a card, and that from what I look at it, dealing 2 damage to target creature or player is just a bonus instead of being the main ability for this card. And on to our next card, we have our Mana Geyser, our sorcery spell for 5 mana, and you add red mana to your mana pool for each tapped land your opponents control. So pretty interesting card, Mana Geyser. Late game, sort of a late game ramp. Your opponent tap out his lands or tap most of the lands to cast a big creature. You can cast Mana Geyser and you can just add a ton of red mana to just like burn stuff out if you are playing red. So I guess that's mainly what this card is for, Mana Geyser. And on to our next card being spoiled, we have our Brimstone Volley. Our instant spell for 3, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player, and with Morbid, it deals 5 damage to that creature or player instead if a creature died this turn. So a ton better than your Lava Axe if you can have the Morbid trigger. So Brimstone Volley. And next card that is spoiled is Deathforge Shaman, our 4/3 Ogre Shaman for 5 mana with Multi-Kicker for 1 red. When it enters battlefield, it deals damage to target player equals to twice the number of times it was kicked. So if you pay 1 red, it deals 2 damage. If you pay 2 red, it deals 4 damage. So basically, if you kick this 1 time, it is a 4/3 body on the battlefield for paying 6 mana, and you deal immediately 2 damage to your opponent. So pretty interesting. And next card being spoiled is our Flaring Flamekin, our 2/2 Elemental Warrior for 3. As long as Flaring Flamekin is enchanted, it gets +2/+2 and has Trample and has Fire Breathing. So really awesome red aggro, yeah, sort of a red aggro stuff. You enchant something, you can give it haste or give it other stuff. So pretty nice Flamekin Elemental. And next card we have our Skittle of Lizards. There's tons of red cards being spoiled for this week. We have a 1/1 Lizard for just 1 mana with a Multi-Kicker. It comes in with haste and it enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter on it for each time it was kicked. So next card we have for the week is our Minamo Scrolls Keeper, our 2/3 Human Wizard for 2 mana with Defender. And your maximum hand size is increased by 1. Again, interesting card to have. Pretty weird that your maximum hand size is increased by 1 with such. I don't really think that it's very useful for such an ability. If your hand size was, if it comes to a battlefield and you do not have a maximum hand size, I think it'll be a rare card. But yeah, increasing your hand size by 1, I don't know whether it's that much useful. And next we have our Lead the Stampede, our sorcery spell for 3 mana. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may review any number of creature cards from them and put the revealed cards into your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So really awesome card to be printed in Conspiracy, especially in a multiplayer format. Lead the Stampede is just too powerful, I guess. And on to our next card, we have our Elephant Guide. It's an awesome new art. As our Enchantment Aura for 3 mana enchant creature, it gets +3/+3, which is your typical elephant. And when enchanted creature dies, put a 3/3 green elephant creature token onto the battlefield. So with Conspiracy set, we are seeing a lot of tokens, and I guess there will be a new elephant creature token in Conspiracy set. Pretty excited about it. I myself is a token collector, and actually, the most exciting card in this set might be the Squirrel token that I'll be looking for. And on to our next card, we have our Wolfbreyer Elemental, our 4/4 Elemental creature for 4 with Multi-Kicker for 1 green. When it enters battlefield, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token on the battlefield for each time it was kicked. This is a rare card. It's extremely awesome in a multiplayer format, as you can just like kick it a ton of times and put in so many 2/2 green wolf creature tokens on the battlefield. So yeah, I think this card is super awesome. And for our last card, if I'm not wrong, spoiled this week for Conspiracy is our Hydra Omnivore, our 8/8 Hydra for just 6 mana. And when it enters the battlefield, when it deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much to each other opponent. So again, Hydra deck looks like the upcoming tribal. For the next core or the next set, there's the Genesis Hydra in M15. If I'm not wrong, there are quite a few Hydras in the Tyros block as well. Your Hydra Brute Master, your Scourge Valet, not sure how to pronounce it, but yeah, pretty many Hydras coming into Magic for these few seasons. And for Conspiracy, there's Hydra Omnivore. I'm not surprised to see anyone building a EDH Hydra deck from all these cards. And next, For the cards being spoiled, we move on to our M15 cards, and first up we have our Phyto Titan. This card was being spoiled last week, but its full name was not known. I'm not sure why, but today the full name is being shown, and it is Phyto Titan. Our 7/2 plant elemental for just 6 mana. When it dies, return it to the battlefield, tap under its owner's control at the beginning of his or her next upkeep. So I guess the name Phyto Titan is pretty fitting for this plant elemental. So basically it just regrows itself every time it dies, but at the beginning of your next upkeep. So pretty bombing card, 7/2, pretty easy to die, but pretty nasty if you cannot get it removed in time. And next card being spoiled for our M15 is our Radiant Fountain, our land. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and can add 1 generic mana to your mana pool. And next card being spoiled is our Meteorite, our artifact for 5 mana. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. And you can tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So basically it is a 5 mana lightning bolt, but with the ability to stay in the battlefield and adding 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So quite interesting card. And for our last card being spoiled for the week is our Hot Soup. Our artifact equipment for 1 generic mana, and equipped creature can't be blocked. Whenever equipped creature is dealt damage, destroy it. And the equip cost is being blurred out, but from what I can tell, it is 3 generic equip cost. This is a very interesting card, Hot Soup, and its flavor text is coming true. So quite interesting. If its equip cost is just 1 generic or even 0, I think you'll be extremely powerful. So basically it's your sort of your madcap skills without the addition of the creature's power. And yeah, Hot Soup, pretty interesting to see this in the core set. So there you go, these are all the cards being spoiled this week for Conspiracy and M15. Stay tuned for next week's spoilers. And that's it for this episode. As always, like support channel, please do hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.